Good morning Year 2 and welcome back to another week of home learning. This week we are going to be revising shape, and we haven't learned about shapes actually since the start of the spring term, so it will be interesting to see what we can remember. Today we're going to be looking at 2D shapes in particular, and we're going to be counting the sides and vertices of 2D shapes. So today you're going to need some blank paper, a pencil, a partner as you normally need, and then the last thing you're going to need is the worksheets today for your independent work, because we're not working in our workbooks and the worksheets can be found attached to the PDF document in Class Stories. Okay, so before we start our lesson, we're going to have a quick look at some vocabulary that we're going to be needing for our learning today. So the first word is over here, 2D. Now, what does 2D mean when we say 2D shape? 2D stands for two-dimensional, and a 2D shape is a flat shape, so it's flat like a drawing on a piece of paper, for example. And down here you can see a shape. I'm not going to name it right now, but this is a 2D shape because it is flat. The second word we're going to need for our lesson today is sides. And there are two shapes under here, two 2D shapes. This one has got 1, 2, 3 sides, and this one has got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So the sides are the flat parts that join up the vertices, which is what I'm coming on to next. Another word we're going to be using a lot of today is vertices. So a vertex is where two sides meet. And if we're talking about more than one vertex, then we call them vertices. And down here you can see again a shape that has 5 vertices. One there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And you might agree with me that they look a little bit like corners, so it's a good way to remember them. So we've got 2D, sides, and vertices. Okay, on this slide, I've got a picture of 4 different 2D shapes. They do have faces, they're quite cute little shapes, and I want to see if you can remember the names of these 2D shapes. So pause the video and have a chat with your partner, see if you can name all of them. Okay, so hopefully we came up with square for this one. This one here is a circle. This one up here is a triangle, and this one here is a rectangle. Well done if you remembered all of those. Okay, what about these 2D shapes? Here are 3 more 2D shapes. Pause the video, talk with your partner, see if you can remember what these 3 shapes are called. Okay, so here we have an octagon. In the middle we have a pentagon, and on the end we have a hexagon. Well done if you remembered all the names of those 3. Okay, for the next part of today's lesson, you're actually going to watch a different video now, which is a White Rose Maths video, and I've put the link for that just here on this slide. The link for that video is also on the PDF document where your worksheets are, so your adults might want to find it there instead. When you click on the link, you should see a lesson with a video that looks like this. So it will say count sides and vertices on 2D shapes at the top. Once you've watched that video, then you'll be ready to complete your independent work for today and try the optional challenges if you're feeling confident. So I'm just going to show you what your independent work and the challenges look like today, and then you can go and watch the White Rose video before you complete them. So this is your first sheet of independent work today. Number 1 asks you to match the shapes to the number of sides. Number 2 asks you to colour the 4-sided shapes in red If you don't have a red colour at home, don't worry, just pick a different colour and change it on your sheet for me. Number 3, you need to complete the table. So this time you've been given the name of the shape, you've been given a picture of the shape, and you need to count what the number of sides is for each one. Your second page, number 4, you need to match the shape to the correct number of vertices. Number 5, Chris says, my shape has 3 vertices, and you need to decide what shape he could have and write the name of the shape you think it is just there. And then the last question, number 6, asks you to put these shapes in order based upon the number of vertices they have. So you might want to put them in order from the smallest number of vertices to the largest number of vertices, or you could put them in order from the largest number of vertices to the smallest number of vertices. So that is your independent work for today. Good luck with that. I am going to talk about the optional challenges on the next slide. There are 3 optional challenges for you today. Number 1 says, here are 18 lollipop sticks. How many octagons can you make? So for that question, you need to think about which shape is an octagon, how many sides, maybe how many vertices as well does an octagon have, and then you should be able to figure out how many octagons they can make. And for that question, we want you to show how you know. So you might want to draw pictures, and you might want to write a sentence as well to explain how you found it out. Number 2 says, which 2D shape has half the amount of vertices as a hexagon? Show your working out. Again, you might want to draw some pictures to help you. And number 3, what 2D shape has twice as many vertices as a square? Again, you might want to draw a picture there to help you. Best of luck, and I will be back with you tomorrow for our next lesson on 2D shapes.